is CTV News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Travis Fortnum. A fast-moving house fire sent crews racing to Victoria Avenue tonight and forced a quick shift from attack to defensive. Firefighters arriving just after 6:30 to thick smoke pouring from a home on Victoria just south of Montrose Street. Crews pushed inside, zero visibility on the main floor and in the basement as they went in for a fire attack and primary search. Minutes later, the fire rapidly spreading, command ordering everyone out, switching to a defensive strategy. All crews got out safely with no injuries reported. At the height of the battle, 32 firefighters were on scene working to knock down the flames. Officials say the house appeared to be under renovations. In Lakeshore tonight, a major boost for local cancer research. A combined $400,000 is being invested through the WeSpark Health Institute, and much of that momentum came from two youth-led fundraising efforts. CTV's Chris Campbell has more.
At the Atlas Tube Recreation Center, community members, researchers, and local leaders gathered to celebrate a significant investment in Made in Windsor cancer research. The funding, totaling $400,000, is the result of a rare matching partnership between the Cancer Research Society and the Play for a Cure Cancer Research Collaboration Fund.
I think this is amazing. My team is amazing. I don't think I could have not done this without them.
It all began with two youth fundraisers. The U11 Lakeshore Lightning girls hockey team donated $100,000 after winning the National Chevrolet Good Deeds Cup. And Carson Woodall raised $57,000 through his youth-driven project, Woody's Hoodies, created in honor of his two grandmothers.
I think it'll make a really big difference, and I hope we can cure cancer because it's really bad, and I don't think anybody deserves to have cancer.
The Play for a Cure Fund topped up those community donations to $200,000, which the Cancer Research Society then matched dollar for dollar. Organizers say the money will support three innovative cancer research projects happening right here in Windsor, Essex, through the WeSpark Health Institute network, helping local scientists push forward on prevention, treatment, and early detection discoveries.
The entire research, or whatever we do, it depends on the funding that we receive, and this is going to make a big difference.
We had the goal of doing 5 events and raising $100,000 at each. And here we've completed 5 events and we've raised $1.8 million just in the hockey event. And on top of that, some other donations that have come through from Carson, from the U11 Lake, and we're at $2.3 million that we've raised total net. That's the net amount too. So it's actually absolutely incredible.
For many at the arena, tonight was about more than dollars. It was a celebration of what community-driven fundraising can accomplish and how youth leadership helped unlock national support for local research.
We're standing up to cancer to steal, the NHL message, like the hockey community. We are standing up to cancer, and we're trying to find a cure. We're trying to create better health outcomes for our community.
In Lakeshore, Chris Campbell, CTV News.
Well, it's a video that's got people shaking their heads tonight, especially in the hockey community. Two coaches in a local minor hockey game actually squaring up and fighting mid-game. Take a look at the video. It shows two coaches going at each other on the ice and at a U13 game, no less. The Ontario Minor Hockey Association tells CTV News the incident is under investigation and that all bench staff from both teams are suspended indefinitely. In the statement, the OMHA says incidents like this have no place in minor hockey and don't reflect the organization's values. CTV's Bob El Chico showed the video to Windsor Lancers head coach Kevin Hamlin today to get his thoughts.
It's just horrifying when kids have to witness that. It's people that you trust to do the right thing. When you're at the rink, when they go sideways like that, it has a damaging effect on our kids, and people have to be more aware of that.
Zekelman Industries says its new snitch line is already paying out more than $10,000 for tips about foreign steel in public projects. The Windsor-based company launched its Buy Canadian initiative earlier this month, urging Canadians to report imported steel on taxpayer-funded construction sites. The company says it's now issuing $1,000 rewards to people who flagged foreign steel in work such as the Fire Hall project in Amherstburg and the St. Clair transmission line. Zekelman Industries expects more payouts as additional reports are verified. At Queen's Park today, the government passed Bill 33, a controversial piece of legislation that makes changes to education in this province. As CTV's Siobhan Morris reports, critics say it silences the voices of students, staff, and parents.
I declare the motion carried.
Cheers and jeers as Bill 33 passes its last legislative hurdle. The process controversial because it skipped committee hearings, but the bill's content has sparked anger too.
Bill 33 is all about putting school boards back on track that fall off the rails.
The education minister can now more easily take over a school board, even if it isn't in financial trouble. A step he's considering with the Near North District School Board.
You have students who are being taught in a half-demolished high school because of decisions of a board. And anybody who suggests that the Minister of Education should allow that mess to continue is wrong.
Boards will have to take on school resource officers if their local police service has a program. Paul Calandra says that's about building relationships, not policing kids.
The workers, united, will never be defeated.
A crush of education workers piled onto the steps of Queen's Park. They've seen decision-making move behind closed doors at boards already under supervision.
And the fact that Calandra wants to make it even easier to take over it is really scary.
There is an openness to more accountability for bad actors.
Maybe take those trustees out, but I don't think it's a one puzzle piece fits all. You take them all out and that's the solution.
But they argue that's not what really matters in this fight.
This is a distraction from the chronic underfunding.
An equation educators say has left their schools broken.
I have to bring in tissue from home so that the runny noses can be wiped off. I have to deal with kids that are biting, pushing, and kicking me.
The opposition leader says she doesn't trust the government to fix that.
They have created this mess, and I think right now what they should be focused on is how to properly fund our schools.
With not enough adults in schools.
Class sizes are too big. Special education's been starved by this government, and we have a mental health crisis.
The Minister of Education is still considering eliminating trustees entirely.
They're laying the groundwork for it, and that's to the detriment of parents and students.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
This is not welcome news for local trustees. As we told you last night, it was something of a hot topic at school board meetings last night. Here's CTV's Michelle Molesky with more local reaction.
It's an attack on local democracy.
We may be endangered stewards.
I'm afraid for the future of public education.
A sobering realization for Gail Hatfield, who's been a trustee for 34 years. The Greater Essex Board is now recruiting 2 new trustees, knowing there might not be a job for them for long.
I don't want to see public school boards or any school boards being eliminated. That's what I want. I don't know what's going to happen.
Malik McCowie just started as a trustee in January after replacing elected trustee Sarah Sipkar. He's worried not only that he might soon be out of a job, but also that local voices could be silenced if this board is under supervision.
We are talking about millions of students that are about to have their rights stripped away and their voice stripped away.
McCowie told the board Tuesday student trustees with the 5 boards currently under supervision were not allowed to attend a recent conference.
It doesn't just clear the path for supervision, I think it completely annihilates it.
Under Bill 33, the ministry can take over a school board for, quote, matters of public interest, but it doesn't elaborate. It reads that the final decision is made by Minister of Education, Paul Calandra.
That's extremely unfortunate that the minister seems to be going down that path.
The Windsor-Essex Catholic Board Chair, Lisa Soulier, has been a trustee for 25 years. She admits the role has changed over the years and does believe Bill 33 is distracting from the real crisis in education, a lack of funding for special ed and transportation.
We have to provide education for all of our students. And when it comes to transportation, we can't just give kids 3/4 of a ride to school. If our funding is only going to cover 3/4 of a ride, we got to go all the way.
Michelle Molesky, CTV News.
And when this discussion happened at Queen's Park today, opposition leader Marit Stiles was ejected from the House after calling the government corrupt. As CTV's John Woodward reports, it comes as questions continue to swirl about the Skills Development Fund.
This semi-detached home in Aurora, Ontario, the listed address of a numbered company that got nearly $10 million in Skills Development Fund grants. The director, Eugenia Andonov, not home on Wednesday. The company has previously said it partnered with an agency that would later go on to start an adult entertainment club in the horticultural building on Toronto's exhibition grounds, though denied government money went there. Filings show the numbered company paid Andonov a salary of $100,000 in 2022. That's when it got about $250,000 in grants. In 2024, when the grant had risen to just under $3.5 million, Andonov's declared salary rose to just under $125,000, a two-year rise of about 24%, far above inflation, says the Canadian Taxpayers Federation.
The average Ontarian is not getting a 24% pay bump over the course of 2 years.
Combing through the data, we found at least a dozen other examples of executive pay shooting up as these grants come in, from tech incubators to advocacy groups to unions. Those agencies we reached said the money for the raises came from other revenue. Critics not so sure.
The government needs to conduct a full investigation.
It's been 7 weeks since Ontario's Auditor General found political staff overruled bureaucrats to give hundreds of millions to low-scoring grant applications. For most of that time, Ontario's opposition has been calling for Labour Minister David Piccini to step down.
It is the strip clubs and the numbered companies. It is the endless grift of a anti-democratic and, yes, corrupt government.
Calling a government corrupt is against legislature rules.
I will ask the member to withdraw.
Speaker, I will not.
NDP leader Marit Stiles escorted from the chamber as her caucus stood cheering. Premier Ford has said he stands by Piccini. The Ontario government sent an audit of one grant recipient, Keel Digital Solutions, to the OPP. That company demanded the audit be made public, alleging it's just being scapegoated for all the other issues of the fund. John Woodward, CTV News.
With the Ford government shutting down automated speed cameras, municipalities across Ontario are now left holding costly equipment they can't use. But in Windsor, the city never bought or leased any cameras, just data tracking armadillo devices that may still prove useful.
This is a modern tool that's digital in its application to analyze what's going on in a particular neighborhood and to help inform the decision-making process around the types of resources that we would deploy in neighborhood given that data.
City Councillor Kieran McKenzie says armadillos are about the size of a small toolbox. You see them there, and they sit on roads or near intersections quietly collecting speed and traffic volume data. They don't take photos and they don't identify drivers. They simply log how fast cars are moving, similar to a police radar gun. The city bought 5 of them, each costing about $5,000, and they can be picked up and redeployed anywhere in the city within minutes. And even though the province has now shut the door on automated speed cameras, the data from these devices will still shape enforcement and safety work.
It's a tool that we're going to be able to use to be able to measure speed across the entire community, so it very much aligns with our Vision Zero processes, where we want to make sure that the decisions that we're making in order to develop or to deploy resources and to do whatever measures we should undertake in parts of the city where there are some traffic-related issues, that we're basing that on the data that we're collecting.
In LaSalle, police are looking for 3 suspects accused of using fake money. Investigators releasing these images today, asking for help identifying the people in them. They say they used the fake cash at businesses on Malden Road between October 22nd and November 10th. Anyone with information is asked to contact LaSalle Police non-emergency line or Crime Stoppers. And Windsor Police seizing nearly $30,000 in drugs and cash after reports of trafficking near West End schools. A search at a home in the 3300 block of Sandwich Street turned up 23 grams of fentanyl and more than $16,000 in cash. A 33-year-old and 31-year-old are charged. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald has your full weather details coming up in 2 minutes' time.
You win and you lose, but we got to come back, win the next battle, and today we won it.
And still ahead, we're warming up for your Wednesday local sports rundown. The latest from the ice, the field, and the hard court. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald is here with our first look at the forecast tonight. Gary, some rain headed our way.
You're right about that. To close out the work week for most, Thursday into Friday, increasing cloudiness late tomorrow, and then early morning rainfall Friday, maybe even some very late night rainfall Thursday. So we'll break that down in a moment. Today was a sunny affair. A beautiful day. Ridge of high pressure in place across the Great Lakes. We didn't get that warm. 6.8 normally. Average 7.5 degrees Celsius for a high. Note the lows. The average low is 0.3 degrees Celsius, still above the freezing mark, and we're getting closer to it every day in terms of those averages, what we would expect as we get deeper into the fall season. Speaking of fall season, we have fall season snow in northwestern Ontario. That system stays to the north of us, but continues to progress from west to east and bringing some snow towards the Nickel Belt region over the next 24 hours. I think the front associated with this will build some of the cloud cover into southern and southwestern Ontario. There it is. But the snow and the rains, for the most part, stay to the north of us. There is a slight chance that late Thursday night, as mentioned, we'll get clipped by this weak end of the cold front. It's not really that much of a trigger, but could mean some light, isolated drizzle, light rain showers. Here's the breakdown for tomorrow. We are warmer through the early morning stage, up to 4 degrees by 8 a.m. We've been colder. It's cloudy. The winds are calm across the entire region, and we'll get up to a high of about 8 degrees, say around 4 p.m. By 5, we're still cloudy, down to 7, and we'll just get cooler from there. Here's the breakdown, the 7-day forecast. And remember, the averages are getting cooler, right? So average daytime high over the next 7 days would be closer to about 7.1 degrees Celsius. In fact, tomorrow, the average will be closer to 7.4, then 7.3. By Saturday, Sunday, down to about 7.2, 7.1. You get the idea. The good news is, although we have a chance of very light showers late Thursday into Friday, we are still warmer than seasonal or average during the day. We'll see some sunshine and even double digits on the weekend, in particular Sunday. And Monday is still looking at 10 degrees, a mixture of sun and clouds. Showers and then cooling off a bit by a bit, a degree by a degree, Tuesday and Wednesday into next week. So enjoy the relative warm-up. Doesn't last too long, but perfect timing for the weekend.
Thank you, Gary. Windsor's Heart Hub, or the Homeless and Addiction Recovery Treatment Hub, has quietly opened its doors. And as CTV's Stephanie Mazzotti reports, officials say it has already seen immediate results.
It's really taking someone from the very beginning of the process and seeing them through what will likely be a very long journey.
The Heart Hub had its soft launch at the end of September. Since then, it's had 45 visits from people seeking help.
Sometimes they feel vulnerable, they don't trust, they're scared. It's meeting them where they're at and getting them to trust the organizations and trust the service.
The Heart Hub is co-led by Hotel Dugars Healthcare, the House of Soft Racine, and the Windsor Essex Community Health Centre, bringing together multiple community organizations to help support individuals aged 16 and older facing homelessness, addiction, and mental health concerns. The Heart Hub was supposed to be operational in April, but that was delayed.
The margin of error has to be zero. So when you launch a healthcare initiative, a new program or service, you've got to get it right from the onset.
The province committed $18.5 million to Windsor for the 3-year pilot project. That money, around $6 million per year, will be distributed to several organizations.
Conceptually, the province thought that they would have these under one roof heart hubs with a one-stop service. It didn't make sense for us economically to do that because we have excellent service providers already with existing services and infrastructure. So it was a matter of augmenting them.
This government funding is going towards 16 treatment beds at Hotel Dugars Healthcare, 2 at the House of Soft Racine, and 5 at Brentwood. Brentwood is also providing 8 interim transitional housing units, with a permanent number of units being announced once renovations are complete. And the Canadian Mental Health Association will provide permanent housing to an estimated 120 placements per year. President and CEO Bill Mara says the challenge is encouraging individuals to seek out the support voluntarily. His message to those who are hesitant is clear.
This is not a journey that you have to take on all on your own.
To make a referral, head to our website, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Stephanie Mazzotti, CTV News.
The City of Windsor is laying out details of its next major housing project involving 2 new downtown developments. Developer Shmuel Fari is proposing a $300 million build-out that would add more than 380 residential units to the core. One project on Karen Avenue calls for 3 mid-rise buildings, 200 units, ground floor commercial space, and parking. The second at Riverside Drive West and Yonette is a 28-story tower with 187 units, including 4 penthouses and commercial space. The city says these would be the first developments advancing under its Housing Solutions Made for Windsor strategy. Construction on the Riverside Tower is expected to begin in 2026.
You're going to have a building that you're standing in Detroit, look forward into Windsor and be proud. It's going to be 28-story gorgeous building that you see in Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, and New York City.
Markets on both sides of the border saw a rebound today. The TSX gained almost 250 points, while in New York the Dow gained 47 and the Nasdaq was up 131. The dollar was down over 1/5 cent. Gold spiked over $16 an ounce, and oil dropped $1.42 a barrel.
Cans for a Cause is back for its 22nd year.
Join us as we broadcast live from Devonshire Mall.
We'll be collecting cash and non-perishable food items for the Society of St. Vincent de Paul.
We need your help, generosity, and goodwill.
Visit us online for more information.
CTV News Windsor has launched a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local news. By signing up, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
The Spitfires are looking to bounce back after a tough weekend. Windsor dropped 2 straight, an overtime loss to the Sioux, then another to Guelph, sliding to 6th in the CHL rankings after giving the team a few days off. Head coach Greg Walters says practices this week have been sharp. The Spits have 3 games in 3 nights ahead, starting with Saginaw at home on Friday.
You know, we started the season from work ethic and defense first, and we lost that a little bit, and we lose 2 games. So we got to be connected. We got to be all on the same page, and we will be.
And Sunday is the annual Teddy Bear Toss at the WFCU Center. Last year, fans threw more than 3,900 bears for Sparky's Toy Drive, and the Spitfires are hoping to top 4,000 this time around. The toys go to local kids who might not otherwise receive a gift this holiday season.
We're very happy to partner with Sparky's every year, and just delivering the toys to the firehouses and getting them distributed to all the kids locally it makes a big impact. And you know, some kids go without toys, and this is one of the things that we can do as part of the OHL and our community impact, always improving our community impact, so it helps, everything helps.
This one is good for a Green Griffin touchdown.
Big night last night at St. Clair College for high school football. Herman rolled to a 55-3 win over Lambton Central. Lots of flipping around going there. Even with the score out of hand, both sides kept the energy up on the sidelines. Players say ending the year with a win built momentum for next season.
It was nice that we finished the year on a win, but it wasn't fair to that team we were playing.
You know, it's great, you know, coming off of L to Holy Names. You know, you win and you lose, but we got to come back, win the next battle, and today we won. It means a lot. Ending the year with the win, and we just got to set the tone for next year.
1, 2, 3, awesome!
Holy Names closed out the night with a 42-28 win over Ursuline College. The Knights now head to Guelph next Wednesday for their OFSA Bowl matchup against St. James.
The key to victory was being more dominant than the other team. We had to be more physical. We had to dominate the line of scrimmage. The focus was running the ball and pounding away.
We studied the team hard, and we came out victorious. Proud of my team, proud of my coaches, every rep we do as a team.
CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald is back with a look at the week ahead. Gary, this looks like a great weekend to put up your Christmas lights and then email us at newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text us at 10400 your address so we can add it to our Christmas lights map.
You've got it all figured out. Perfectly stated, my friend. Travis, I would agree. And with the sunshine, you know, like 11, 12 degrees Celsius at this time of the year, which we are forecasting towards the weekend, is about 4 degrees above seasonal. It's statistically significant. Not going to see any records set, but it's going to be warmer than what we would expect. So enjoy. Tomorrow's cloudy up to 9. That's 2 degrees, about 1.5 degrees above seasonal. Rain late Thursday night into early morning, just after midnight towards 3, 4 a.m. Friday morning. Cloudy there, but look at this, up to 12 in the afternoon, and we'll probably see even some breaks in that cloud cover, some sunshine. But the sunshine really starts to be a big feature of the weather story for the weekend. 7, then 11, sunny both days, fair weather, and 10 on Monday before we start to cool off just a touch with cloudy conditions both Tuesday and Wednesday and a slight chance of showers. Wherever you are, have a great night's rest and enjoy your weather tomorrow.
Thank you, Gary. Finally tonight, mark your calendars. One of the most popular festive attractions starts next week.
Of course, I'm talking about Bright Lights Windsor, which is just around the corner. 2024 was an incredible year. This year promises to bring the magic once again.
Downtown Councillor Ronaldo Agostino kicking off the 2025 edition of the Light Festival. It starts next Friday with the official lighting ceremony. Bright Lights will run from 5:30 to 10 o'clock each night until January 7th. New this year, mobility tours, a daytime walking club, and free Wi-Fi. And as I referenced with Gary, we're putting together a map featuring local Christmas light displays. If you deck the halls at your house and want folks driving around to see the lights, to come check yours out, send us some pictures and your address to newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it to 10400. And that's our time for tonight. I hope you'll join us tomorrow. For now, I'm Travis Fortnum. Take care.